What's up, Tailgaters? You're in the booth with Tailgate Nate today. Welcome to my channel. More bowl game preview and predictions are coming your way today. Got 3 of them, and we're going to start out with this one today. It's the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl taking place in Jacksonville, Florida. We got another ranked team in bowl season. It's the 22nd ranked Clemson Tigers. They're going to be going up against the Kentucky Wildcats. An ACC versus SEC showdown in bowl season. This should provide a fairly interesting matchup here. And again, we'll talk everything about the Tigers and Wildcats here in just a little bit. But before we do that, you guys know I have to say thank you for all the love and support the channel has seen. I'm recording this the day after Christmas, so I hope everyone had a phenomenal holiday season. Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, whether it's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I hope you're continuing to have a good holiday season here as the week goes along for whatever you celebrate. I hope the holidays are going well, but thank you for all the love and support on the channel. Anything you do to interact with the channel helps to support it, whether that's liking, commenting, sharing, doing what you're doing now by watching the video, or doing the big thing and hitting the subscribe button, ringing the bell, so you know when videos get uploaded, you're helping to support what I do here on YouTube. Now, what I will say, Tiger fans, Wildcat fans, if I do leave out a name or someone that is opted out, is not playing, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. It can be a little tricky to try to keep track of everybody that has entered the transfer portal or opted out or things like that. So if I miss anyone, you can just let me know in the comment section down below. And hey, leave your thoughts on this game down in the comment section below. Always very intrigued to hear what you guys think about these bowl games. But with all that out of the way, let's finally go ahead and dive on into talking about this game. Again, the Clemson Tigers are ranked according to the College Football Playoff Committee. Let's take a look at what this team did offensively in 2023, and it was Klubnik at the helm of this team. And honestly, if I were to grade Klubnik's season, it might be a B- or a C. I think he had a lot of really good moments, but there was a lot that was expected out of this young man. And let's be honest, it didn't start out pretty, but he's really started to find his groove as the season has gone on. 2,580 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 8 picks on 63% completion percentage, only 6.2 yards per pass. Again, there was a lot more expected of Klubnik, but we know that this is a Clemson team that will pound the rock. They are led by the run game. Phil Maffa, Will Shipley, all of the both of those two guys had almost 800 yards. I mean, Will Shipley had 798 yards, basically 800, but Phil Maffa, 894 yards, 9 touchdowns for Maffa, 5 touchdowns for Shipley. I do believe that both of them are expected to play here in this game, so that is absolutely huge news for the Clemson Tigers to have a really stocked up backfield there. You got 2 guys that can run it really well, more notably in Will Shipley. Now that he has had time to rest, be healthy, he's really starting to find his groove. That's a huge player to have here for the Clemson Tigers. You are going to be without Bo Collins, who is second in the team in receiving. However, your leading receiver in Tyler Brown, only by 9 yards, 519 yards, 4 touchdowns. He is back, and your leader in the receiving touchdowns in the tight end, Jake Briningstool, will be back as well. He was the only other player over 400 yards. You got guys like Stellato, Shipley out of the backfield is a good receiving option. Adam Randall is still there as well. So you still got a lot of good offensive weapons. This team is pretty solid there on third downs. Offensive line, for the most part, does a really solid job, but this team can be turnover prone, especially with the fumbles. Again, only 8 interceptions on the year, 13 fumbles. That's going to have to be cleaned up against this Kentucky team. Now, defensively for Clemson, I know the narrative over the past couple of years has been this Clemson defense has taken some steps back. And while in areas that might be true, I mean, I think the stats really speak for themselves here. 24 takeaways, 30 sacks. They're a really good third down defense. They're allowing opponents to under 280 yards per game, or if you want to be more general, they're holding opponents to under 300 yards per game. Really good rush defense. The secondary has been really good this season as well. 58 passes defended, 14 of those 24 takeaways have been picks, and they have 4 pick sixes this year. So I don't know about you guys, but I think the defense has performed just fine this year. That is definitely not the side of the ball that has caused concern for Clemson so far this season. However, they will be without a ton of star power here in this game. Andrew Makuba entered the transfer portal. Believe he's already made his destination clear. I'm just not remembering the team off the top of my head. And then you have a lot of opt-outs here as well. Jeremiah Trotter, Nate Wiggins, and Rook Ohoro are going to be out here for this game. Trotter led the team in tackles. You take a look at some other really talented guys such as Nate Wiggins, 6 passes defended this year. Andrew Makuba also has 6 passes defended this season as well. So you're losing a lot of really talented players on the defensive end, but we know there's still a lot of defensive talent on the field here for Clemson, and it's going to be a really tough puzzle for this Kentucky offense to solve. Explosiveness and just lack of consistency has been the problem for Kentucky offensively this year, especially with the inconsistent play of Devin Leary. While for the most part this season he has been healthy, in fact, only one other quarterback has thrown a pass for Kentucky this year. That was Kaius Sharon. He only threw 4 passes. It's been Devin Leary's team the entire way. And I mean, say what you will about his performance. He's had some good moments. 2,440 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 10 picks. Only 56% completion percentage, though. That's probably where a lot of the issue lies in as well as those 10 picks. Now, he has really cleaned up his play, and he's played a lot better as the season has gone on. He started to find that explosive capability there as well. And he's still got a lot of his receiving weapons here. Dane Key, Tavion Robinson, Berrien Brown are all back, as well as a huge piece of this offense coming back in Ray Davis. 1,000-yard rusher this year with 1,066 yards, 13 touchdowns, is also the team's 4th leading receiver and the team's leading pass catching, and let me rephrase that, and the team's leader in receiving touchdowns as well. It's an offense that, besides Leary's interception prone, doesn't really turn the football over a lot. The offensive line, again, has the same number of sacks allowed as the Clemson Tigers, and they're pretty solid there on third down. Again, it's just consistency of this Kentucky offense has been a little bit cumbersome to come by this year. Now, when you take a look at this Kentucky defense, hey, this is still a really, really good defense in a lot of areas. They're a really, really good defensive front. They're actually statistically better than what the Clemson Tigers have put up this year. They're only allowing 113 yards as to where Clemson is allowing 116. You're going to be without one of your better edge rushers here in this game, and Keaton Wade had 36 tackles and 1 sack here. But guys like Trevin Wallace at linebacker, hey, he's going to be playing. Deion Walker on the defensive line is going to be playing, as well as J.J. Weaver also in that linebacking room. And then Derek Jackson, your leading tackler, should be back there as well. Maxwell Hairston, 5 picks this year. He should be back there as well for this Kentucky defense. The one part of this Kentucky defense that's probably really, really shaky is this is just not a good third down defense at all. They allow teams to convert on the money downs way too often, and that's something that Clemson can do really, really well. So let's go ahead and dive on into your what to watch for, kind of like your keys to the game. It's just some things I think you should keep an eye on while you're paying attention to this one. And we will start with the Clemson Tigers, as they are the designated road team here in this game. You need to keep the offense on the field as much as possible. And first of all, that's Clemson's game plan normally, right? This is a run-first team. They average 180 rush yards per game. This team is fantastic at being able to control the clock. They have to do it without turning it over. And the reason that they have to keep their offense on the field is when this offense is clicking, it is very, very tough to stop. When Cade Klubnik is on, he's a really, really good quarterback. And then when this rush game is going at full speed, there's just not a whole lot of defensive fronts that they're going to be able to stop it. You need that firepower. You need to tire out this Kentucky defensive front, as they are also really good against the run. But this is a Kentucky team that is terrible at controlling the clock. That is Clemson's MO. If you can control the clock, well, that just makes the battle a whole lot harder for Kentucky, as they just don't really have an explosive offense at all. However, in saying that, I do believe that the run defense is going to be challenged. I think having Ray Davis back for Kentucky is massive. That is huge. Ray Davis is going to need to shine here in this game. Yes, I know I'm already previewing Kentucky's keys here, but Ray Davis needs to shine. And if he does, if he is on, and if he's running to the best of his ability, this run defense is going to be challenged. But even with all the defensive losses that Clemson has, I think this run defense is going to hold. And with the run game offensively, with the run game defensively, if the run game takes over here, that means Clemson's going to control the clock, and as long as they can limit turnovers, hey, it's only going to benefit the Tigers. But what have I said about Kentucky as we move into their what to watch for, keys to the game, again, whatever you want to call it? Ray Davis needs to shine. This needs to be a huge game for him. This is a really, really difficult puzzle to solve in the Clemson defensive front. And yeah, you're losing some really good pieces there. Again, I mentioned the name of Jeremiah Trotter, probably one of their better run defenders, as he plays linebacker there. Really, really good player, leading tackler, 5.5 sacks, 2 picks. He does it all for this Clemson defense. Ray Davis needs to be able to shine, but Devin Leary needs to be efficient as he has been at times this year and needs to limit the mistakes. If this is going to be a game where Devin Leary is throwing interception after pick, it's just not going to work. It's the Clemson defense that will make you pay, and my apologies, and a Clemson offense as well that will go drive down the field and score. Now, third down defense. I talked about it earlier with Kentucky. It's just not very good. It has to step up here. If Kentucky can win the money downs, that is going to not necessarily negate the fact that I do believe Clemson is going to control the clock, but it's going to help, right? It's also maybe going to swing the clock factor a little bit more in Kentucky's favor, but you need to force the Tigers into mistakes. Hey, make this one of Klubnik's mistake-filled game. Clemson at times has trouble holding on to the football. Make them fumble it. Get the ball on the ground, force some turnovers. I think the big thing, and I've alluded to it pretty much all video long here, is controlling the clock. I think whichever team controls the clock is going to win this game, just knowing that both these teams are going to look to run first. Both these teams have really, really good rush defenses as well. But like I've talked about all video long, Clemson's ability to just control the clock and Kentucky's lack of explosiveness, lack of efficiency offensively, I think is really going to hurt them. Now, having Ray Davis back is huge, and I look at that 4-point spread, and I think, okay, Kentucky will make this a 3-point game. But I do think that Clemson's ability to control the clock and win the third downs will take over, and the Tigers will win this one 2017 in the Gator Bowl. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But hey, as always, remember to play hard but tailgate harder. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Goodbye.